guys, I'm Amy, and you've landed on Belle Loves Bargains. That's my cow Effingham, and sometimes he co-hosts with me. He's got a lot to say. This channel is Dollar Tree, and only Dollar Tree. And why? Because everything at the Dollar Tree is $1.25, people. So stick around, consider subscribing, and don't forget to give me that big thumbs up. And if you want to know more about the 4 uploads I do every week, just check out the description box for more information. Enjoy! All of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see that I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I wanna lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cried. How can I get along without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so I not take all of me. Good old Frank Sinatra. Hi guys, welcome to Bella's Bargains. My name is Amy. I should not be singing. I shouldn't even be talking. I'm supposed to give everything's a rest today. But I sound a little raspy. It's because I had a colonoscopy yesterday and there was a little procedural hiccup with my throat. And so my throat got a little burned. Anyway, I know it's a colonoscopy. Long story. I'll tell you. Anyway, all right. So listen, hey, today I sang that song because I wanted to sing winter, spring, summer, or fall. All you got to do is call. But I've already sung that one for a spring thing. And then for some reason in my head that led me to all of you. And I was like, yeah, why not? What the heck? All right. Because you know what today is? It's a challenge video. Yes, it is. It's a challenge video. So today's challenge video, I'm going to show you right now, is Spring Blossoms and Fruit. It's a tiered tray open invite, and it's hosted by the Grace Life DIY Home Decor and Deborah Cabasa Home Living. So those two ladies, their channels will be linked obviously in my description box below. So make sure you go check them out. And then everybody else that's on the playlist. Make sure you tell them that about Amy from Bella's Bargain sent you. And let's just get going. So I did a tier tray. Now, I didn't actually show how I made my tier tray in this video because it's already been on a video. I made this tier tray, I think, for another challenge. I'll post it right here. The challenge that you can see how I made this tier tray in it. But everything that's on the tier tray, I made for you today. So here's the thing. Because it was, Spring Blossoms and Fruit, I was like, I had so many of these totally cool Dollar Tree fruit sprigs. I was like, I'm using them. Like, that's going to be my whole thing. So here's my entire tier tray. Again, that video, I've already put it up there. You can go see how I made this tier tray. Pretty simple, but so cute, right? And it was so perfect for this today. There's actually a ladder that goes on my tier tray so the little gnomes can run up and pick lemons from my lemon tree. Let's go over what I have made for you today. I'm trying to think of what order it's in. The ladder is first on there. I'm going to talk a little bit about it, then I'm going to show you how I made them all, and I'll come back and say goodbye. So this is the ladder. I love this. It's very primitive, and it was so easy to make. You'll see in the video. And I just thought it was cute. Like, let's add a ladder so they can go pick lemons from my lemon tree that I made you. And I'm in love with this lemon tree, so I'm going to keep it for sure. Look at this. How cute is that, you guys? Let's just take a minute and talk about some of the elements. So this is just obviously a little terracotta pot, except it's plastic. It's not terracotta. It was some other thing sometime way back when that I got at the Dollar Tree, and I'd removed the whatever, but the plant that was in it, and I kept it, of course. And so this is, yeah, you recognize it. It's just the bones of a pick that you buy, which I keep them when I remove the picks. Good thing, because this is the kind of stuff I do with them. Do you not love my little lemons on there? They're beads. And then I just stuck little greenery on the one side, the one hole of the bead. perfection. Yes, yes. So I'm in love with this. I even like my little sprig, like look, a lemon tree sprouted beneath it, because that happens all the time, right? So I think this is so cute. Yeah. And then next I made the birdie, I think. I don't remember the order. It doesn't matter. You're going to see them all. So this is a piece that came from Dollar Tree last year, like Mother's Day. There's a butterfly too, I think I have. Anyway, and I was like, okay, so that's super cute, the bird, but I've really upscaled it. So I did two-sided. I put a napkin on the back, and you'll see how I do that in the video. And because the back side of these florals was the wood element, I added this little, you'll see in the video how I made it, what I did. And I also whitewashed all the sides so it no longer looks cheap like the bottom. See? And then as I did that, as I was painting the sides, I really sort of whitewashed in, did the beak there, and I kind of whitewashed in all around on this bird. I think it ended up looking so cute, and it wasn't before. It was just kind of a decoration from Dollar Tree. But now it's very cute, and it's part of my tier tray. Then this little guy, which I think is so cute. So I made this little wood basket. All right, right? Cute. Wait till you see how I made this. And then these are just little blueberries, but I think they also look kind of like grapes. Again, I wanted to use all of those fruit tree picks that Dollar Tree gave us this year. So these are them. I have the apple, the berries, or the pears, the berries, the apples on here. These are also the ones that I took off the awful leaves. There's cheap leaves on here. I take those off of them. But I'm just going to show you a little trick. I saw this on TikTok the other day. I know, I learned something. And instead of trying to cut off the end, you just reverse bend them back. And it works beautifully, by the way. So I just reverse bended it back so I could lay it onto my, I'm dropping my ladder. So I could lay it onto my tier tray here and show my little fruits. So this is just very primitive, and then the blueberries were off of one of those picks. So I think I used like 4 of those picks today. If you didn't get them last year, they were really good. They were a nice little find. Then I made this. I like this too. I'm absolutely going to keep this. So, you know, they give us a lot of these wood elements, and you guys, it's okay to leave them, the wood. So what I did was I did spring, and then there's a toothpick in between. So I laid them all down, spring, and I glued a toothpick across the back of them. I put them on my ruler to keep them straight. Then I put blooms on the other side. But that leaves us with this gap in here, which I filled in with little flowers. Well, they're spring blooms, right? So love that as well. I think that came out super cute. And then the final little thing that I made, which because I am doing, if you've not seen my Jarganza Volume 1 dropped yesterday, and it's the black and white series. A bunch of them are behind me right now. So make sure you check that out. Also, there's a bow tutorial for this wreath. I do 22 bows. I'll pop that in right here. And at the end of this video, I'll pop in my Jarganza for you to go check out if you want to. But so I had to do a jar for this tier tray. And this is a super cute little jar. This was the maple syrup, the 100% maple syrup that came out at Christmas time. And so I love to do little miniature floral bouquets. I feel like they're popping out, sorry. Anyway, and I just go through and I'm looking for the tiniest little blooms that will work, right? So this is just Mod Podge on napkin, ribbon, jute twine, florals, and then cute little tag. Happy spring and that. Also keeping this because I just think it's so cute. All right, that's my tier tray. What do you guys think? I kind of like how I double-sided a few things, like this and the sign over there. And it was fun to make. Anyway, I was rushing to get it done because I ended up down and out from the colonoscopy unexpectedly, so that sort of messed up my schedule. I got so busy talking, I forgot to break away to show you guys how I made all this. So watch how I made all this. I'll come back and say goodbye. Here's the ladder. So I am just gluing the pieces together. I laid it out because I wanted to make sure it was semi-even and the right size. And then just hot glued it together and then took jute twine and I'm just crisscrossing at each joint, and that's just going to reinforce it and give it a really cool look. Then burn it, all the frays off, and then once I get all the frays off, I really give it a burn on the front because it really ages it. Like, it just, you burn, burn, burn. See how it darkens it? Now I'm going to make the bag to collect the fruit in. This is just a piece of burlap ribbon. This was a little extra piece I had laying around. Perfect. And I was fraying it on the ends a little bit. Don't really need to do this. And then just hot gluing those seams together. But of course, I did that, and then I realized I didn't put the fruit in. But that's okay. Fold it over for the flap on it, and then I'm just going to cut a little crisscross in there so I can knot some jute twine, like the little tie thing that ties it together, right? It's just all decorative. It's not a real working miniature sack. And then anyways, afterwards, I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't put any fruit in there. Duh! So I grabbed some yellow beads, and later on I actually added some blueberries and a little bit of greenery, which you can see in the final reveal. But just a little sack to hang off it, so I took some jute twine, knotted on both sides, just glued it there, and hung it on my little ladder so the little elves can climb up on my tier tray and go collect lemons. Anyway, all right, so that's it for the bag. And then just hang it on the, yeah, there you go. Boom. Oh, yeah, that's right. I decided it needed to be aged a little bit, so that's the last of my brown shoe polish, but it really wasn't working. So I got some black that I'd been using earlier, and I had it sitting in a Ziploc bag, and if you just do it really lightly, it's perfect. It just gives it a little bit of age. All right, let's make a lemon tree. So this was fun because I just take, whenever I pull things off of a pick, I save the base of it. So it's a perfect lemon tree trunk. And then I'm just taking pieces off of this greenery pick that looked small enough leaves. Like I felt like they were small enough leaves that they could be, it could be a lemon tree. Not that they're really shaped like lemon tree leaves, but it doesn't matter. We're just making miniatures. So I'm just going to shape this the way I want. So this is just going to be personal preference, right? Because I cut off the ends and use the ends to bush it out a little bit more at the bottom, like right there. So I'm rounding it up a little bit more so it's not so spread out long branches, right? So I'm cutting those all off and then just putting them on the bottom. Now I've kept a couple of parts on the pick because I need some of it for my lemons when I add them to my lemon tree here. So you can see I'm just trimming it. I'm like giving my tree a haircut and then just adding these picks back in with hot glue because this is just, you know, to make it look more like a tree. And having a couple of those brown pieces in there was perfect. And as a matter of fact, what I cut off the ends on the two brown parts that were left when I first started, I glue those into the tree to add more brown stump in there, or branches, you know. Okay, anyway, after I get that all done, I've got to put some lemons in it, and I've got to give it a pot, right? It needs to go into a pot. So the pot is one from something. I think you might have had a succulent in it a while back, and it already has the foam in there, thank goodness. And so I'm just going to take Mod Podge, put it on this lemon ribbon for the top. You know, it's not absolutely perfect, right? Because the ribbon is flat and this is curved and it tapers in. But it's good enough. Like, you can't really tell on the pot. So I just hot glue it there and then hot glue it on this side, and the Mod Podge will dry it onto the pot as it dries. And I'm going to put a little bit of Mod Podge over the top of it too, and especially around the top, just to get it to seal to the pot. You can see the Mod Podge there drying. Now this is liner, plant liner, which the coconut stuff I love to use, and that's what I'm going to put in the base of this. And then I'm going to take a little piece of a twig and then put it in there like there's a lemon tree growing from underneath the tree, like happens in nature all the time. Yeah. Then I'm going to take some beads. I'm going to find my smallest yellow beads. I think I got 17 of them. I dab a little black paint on there. Why? Because they shouldn't be stark yellow. I just rub it around. No rhyme, no reason. And now I'm going to put glue in one side. Some of them I glued onto a branch. Some of them I glued into the tree. And then I'm cutting little sprigs to put on the
other hole in the bead so that we don't see it as a bead. It looks like a complete round, and then it's got its little leaves on the top of the fruit. And I tried tweezers to put it in there. Anyway, in the end, I have to use my hand. It just didn't work. I kept dropping them out of tweezers. But maybe you're better with tweezers than I am. I think this came out really cute. I'm super, super happy with it. And then I did add a little jute twine on the ribbon. All right, this bird, which was I think came out about Mother's Day last year. Get the thing off, the label off. I cut a square of this napkin because it matched the colors of the florals that were on the front of the bird. And I'm removing it because it's 2-ply. I'm going to remove the 1-ply. I only left this in to show you this little trick. So I took some duct tape, take a little piece. This works every time you want to separate your napkins. And you put one piece on one side, one piece on the other, and you pull. Boom, boom. And there you go. Now you got it separated. But I don't end up using this because I'm so dumb. I need it to be 2-ply because otherwise the MDF, this is going to go on, it's just going to soak up all the color, right? And right there I'm going, oh, I need to put white down first. So I'm like, never mind. This is going to be too dark. So I just go cut another square and actually Mod Podge it on there, 2-ply. So I'm just going to throw Mod Podge on this one side. I stroked out on my sides, right? I don't want the napkin to go onto the sides at all. I just want it on the top layer. And so put it on there. And I'm going to trim off a little bit. We're going to put some more Mod Podge down on it, soak it up pretty good, and let it dry for a little bit. And then just scrape all of the excess paper off. Now, here's the thing. I end up using a lighter, which probably would have been the best thing to do in the beginning anyway. But while it's drying, I'm grabbing 5 of these little wood die cut birds. And I'm gluing them together. I don't have my wood glue there. So I just used a little tacky glue to glue the 5 of them together, which worked perfectly fine. Because this is just going to add a little decoration onto this side of the bird. Because the back side of the florals in the center of the bird are colored on one side, but natural wood on the other. So I went ahead and left that and tied it in by adding this little natural wood colored bird so that it all flows. So now I'm going to start scraping, but this is where you guys just use a lighter. Way easier. I don't know why it took me so long to think about that. And see there, you can see the back side of those flowers. They're just natural wood. So I start going at it first with a nail file, and then I go get the small nail file, and then I go get a lighter. Sometimes it takes third try. Third time's charm, right? And it was fine, so I just burned it off and then cleaned it up a little bit. But what I do paint all of the edges on the bird with white, but somehow I didn't film it. I apologize for that. Unless I show me starting it. Maybe I do. So there we go. And then I just cleaned this up after I burned it. I did a little bit more sanding just to clean up if there was any gummy on the side from it melting like the Mod Podge. It was hanging over or something. So just cleaned it up. Pretty simple. And then I'm going to take white acrylic paint. But the MDF soaks it in so much that you never get you get more of a whitewash effect when you're painting MDF unless you put Mod Podge on it first, which I don't. See, there you go. Start painting all the sides. And I give it about 3 layers. And then it looks really shabby chic almost because I sort of whitewash onto both sides as I'm painting around the edges of it. Look at that. Now those flowers in the wood look perfect. So let's make a little wood basket sort of thing, a fruit carrier we'll call it. This one took me a second to figure out. So I'm winding twine. I'm going to knot it right here, and then I'm going to go to the other side and wind it. But I'm crisscrossing, and it's dumb. I don't need to. You'll see why in a second. Then I'm going to take another piece of twine and do the other 2 sides. And then I realized I can just lay it out flat and then crisscross it afterwards. I was like, Amy, use your noggin. So, which I figured out, like right about here. I was like, wait a second. I think I could just, and I also forgot to knot that right there. So I'm just winding and knotting, and then I'm going to go across to the other side, wind and knot, making sure that it's even. See that? Just like that there. Making sure that it's even. and knotting it off, and I'm going to tie that off. So now I have 2 little pieces of wood, and look at that, I just flipped it and crisscrossed it. So now we're going to go to building our basket. So this takes a little bit. I'm just gluing down my twine, make sure it's glued down. So you have to sort of fit these in and then just build up, and it tightens up, and you end up with like this bowl thing. But the problem is they can't really have them all the same size. So because otherwise it won't taper in. So I go get this tool, which I don't know what it's called, but that's what I end up using. So after I cut everything down, I'm trying to get them all in there. I just went ahead and cheated and dabbed a little tiny bit of hot glue on to hold them in place while I'm pressure fitting in the remainder of the bowl. And that really did work. So I was just challenging myself to something I'd never done before. I actually really love how this came out. And then I went and got the smaller twigs for the bottom of our little bowl because they were just sort of, these other ones were too big for the bottom. Unless I just stopped right there and put a third one in. But I didn't. I went a little deeper. So here's where I just started cheating. I'm like, never mind. I'm just going to tap some glue on there just to help me until I get to the final row. Because this just helped keep them in place, which was so much easier, you guys. Okay, so once I get that built, now that you've sort of seen how I'm building it, and I'm going to add in my 4 pieces here at the end for my bottom, and they're that darker little twig pieces, but they're perfect. It came out super cute. So look at that. Now, sorry, I'm going to add in some, just took that black brush again, and I put some black onto my old shoe polish thing because it has like a sponge, and sort of dirtied up all the edges and everything of this. Just gave it a dirty look, right? More like an old wooden basket. And now I'm going to add 1 more piece on the bottom. I put 4 on the bottom, which really helped it. Okay, now let's add in some of that coconut shred and some blueberries. So I'm just going to cut the blueberries off of their pick here and fill that basket up. I'm going to use some of the leaves, and then it's going to be done. I think this came out super cute. It's a little bit different. As I pulled those berries off of one pick, then it would end up with wire, so I just twirled it around to make a curlicue. And these also kind of look like grapes, but anyway, it was, yeah. So I'm just using some fruits. Some summer fruits. Alright, so then after I get done with this, it's going to go on the tier tray because this little thing is done. I'm adding some greenery into it. 1 more little pick, have it sort of hang over the side. And look at that. We are done with this little project. Super cool looking. Very primitive, I would say. So I missed filming the first part of this, but just so you know, these are the tile little letters, and it says spring on the one side. And I put them all together with a popsicle stick, and now I'm going to double-side it with bloom. So there's a popsicle stick tying all the words in spring together, and now I just put hot glue using my tool there to make sure they're all lined up straight. And now I've got spring and the backside is bloom. But one of the best parts about this is there's a gap in between because there's the distance because I've put a popsicle stick in there, which is done on purpose so that I can take those flowers that are off to the side there and make this piece pretty cool by 3-dimensionalizing it with flowers sitting into that groove that is now created. So I'm just going to use some wood glue and put those all in there. I opted not to use hot glue, again, because hot glue can just bulk up and it doesn't, the wood glue is going to dry clear and match these wood color, natural color pieces. So with hot glue, not as much. So it takes a little bit more work because I'm using the wood glue. Now I'm going to, of course, make my bottle because doing all these bottles right now. And so Mod Podge all over it. And then this is the ply, the white ply of the napkin that I didn't use earlier because I want to give this some color on the bottom and then add the yellow ribbon. And it's just a way to decorate the bottle up. Super easy because I don't have to use any paint, right? I'm just using that white ply of the napkin, and I layered it up because if just one layer, it would have been clear. And I really wanted some color and just not like, I don't know how to explain this, but anyway, it's just the more layers you put on, the wider it gets. And then leaving it all wrinkled, which I loved. Then I glued on my ribbon in the center of it, like so. What's the seam where I had taken the tape off of, the ribbon covered that up. And now I'm just going to go to putting in my florals. So these came out really cute. I was just using everything I could find that was miniature, and then I'm like, I need to add a tag on it. So I just took a tag and, they're sticker tags, but I folded it in half, and I'm just going to trim it down to the size I want. I'm just cutting a little X in it so I can get the string through it. I'm going to take my that black paintbrush again, and just age it a little bit around the sides, and I'm just going to outline it here so I can double check the sizing of my writing, and I'm going to write Happy Spring. And I'm happy with that, so then I'm just going to copy that onto my tag, and then I'm going to use jute twine, and I'm going to wrap the neck of the bottle and tie off my little tag that says Happy Spring. And I'm also going to take one of those wooden flowers and sort of wrap the other tail of the jute twine once I tie it off on the neck to put that on there. So just to finish it off really cute. I just think these little miniature bouquets are so fun. So in my little tag goes onto the jute twine, and I'm just going to knot it and then cut it off. So the knot is sitting on the top of the tag that says Happy Spring. And then on the floral, the little wood bead. So I'm going to take this jute twine, and I left this in real time for you, but it just goes in, and then I'm going to wrap it around. I'm just double checking like where I want it to hang, and then wrap it around in between the petals and through. And I'm going to go all the way around this flower, and then I'm just going to cut it off and glue it on the back, and that's how I've tied it on to my jute twine here as part of my little tag decoration for this miniature bottle bouquet, which I absolutely love. Like, I'm keeping it. I like miniatures. It's a thing. So I'm just going to glue that off, and ba-bam, my little bottle bouquet is done. I'm going to come back, talk to you after you see the final reveal right here of the entire tier tray. want to thank you once again to our hosts for doing this challenge. You know, they put a lot of work in when they do a challenge. And so I'm always really appreciative. So Grace Life and Deborah Cabasa Home Living, their channels again will be linked down below. And please go check out the entire playlist. It's always fun to see, you know, ideas that you can gather from other crafters. Anyway, but if you need to, take all of me. All of me. Why not take all of me? 'Cause the Dollar Tree has already done that. However, spoiler alert, there might be a cheating video coming out tomorrow. Maybe. I might have been a cheater. All right, everybody, have a great day, great week, a great life. Watch and you'll see what I mean. And as always, from your singing crafty crafter, happy hunting at your local Dollar Tree. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to please give it a thumbs up or hit your right if you want to come back. And also, leave a comment. Tell me which one of these was your favorite. I think maybe my lemon tree is going to win out. I think maybe the latter though. I don't know. Anyway, you guys let me know which one you like best down below. And then hopefully you will subscribe because you like me. You really like me. And then you'll come back and visit often. All right. Thanks so much again to our hostesses for putting this challenge on. They really, really appreciate it. So everybody I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye, besties.